Dmitry Bivol has ramped up his strength training in preparation for his highly anticipated rematch with Artur Beterbiev. With a laser-like focus and unwavering determination to dominate his opponent, Bivol is pushing himself to new limits. His grueling workouts are transforming him into a powerhouse, ready to face Beterbiev in the ring with the intent to conquer.
Yes, there you go. Good. Good.
In another clip, Dmitry Bivol is seen fine-tuning his technique, ensuring he can match the pace and control the distance in the rematch. With each session, he's not only increasing the power behind his punches, but also refining his skills to bring a more versatile approach. Bivol is focused on hitting Beterbiev harder, while also introducing new, expertly crafted techniques that will catch his opponent off guard.
Good work.
Dmitry Bivol is honing his focus to ensure he doesn't lose sight of his target in the upcoming rematch. He's fine-tuning his footwork like never before, showcasing an agility and precision that's taking his game to new heights. He's preparing to deliver a more dynamic, unpredictable performance when he meets Beterbiev in the ring.
Good. Boom. Good.
Meanwhile, Artur Beterbiev is also transforming himself into a powerhouse through intense training. Seen lifting heavy dumbbells, he's determined to prove a serious threat to Bivol. Beterbiev is leaving no doubt that his punches will carry even more power than in their previous bout. David Benavidez sparred Dmitry Bivol 3 years ago. Recently, Serg shared his insights on how the sparring went, offering a unique perspective on the intensity and skill displayed by both fighters.
Benavidez and Bivol, I saw them spar at the church.
It was great sparring.
It was a great sparring, but I'll tell you this thing, that Benavidez, he wasn't that experienced at that time. It was like 2 years ago, three years ago, but Bivol had a hard time with him. I don't know who won or not, but...
Renowned boxing analyst Russ Anber has weighed in on the upcoming rematch, expressing concerns about whether Beterbiev has improved since their last bout. He pointed out that the world has yet to see Beterbiev at his peak, but believes the fighter has likely evolved and will be in better shape this time.
How much more he can improve on his performance. I think he boxed an excellent fight. I'm not sure what alternatives he can come up with, but I do believe that Beterbiev can improve on his last performance. I don't think we saw Beterbiev at his best.
Russ Anber reflected his thoughts on the last bout between Dmitry Bivol and Beterbiev. He thinks Beterbiev was conservative in his last battle. He said, "I think he had surgery on the knee. He wasn't coming back, wasn't as forceful as he usually is. He seemed to be a lot more conservative. I personally gave him the edge at the end of the fight. I thought he closed out the last 3 rounds quite solidly. I thought he showed that he was able to hurt Bivol. I think he can improve on his performance." Russ Anber went on to suggest that Dmitry Bivol will need to come up with something special to improve his performance this time and effectively handle whatever Beterbiev brings to the table. At the same time, he praised the fight, highlighting that this initiative is a great step forward for boxing.
Bivol's going to have to come up with something. He's going to have to pull something out of the hat to come up with a better performance and overtake whatever Beterbiev brings to the table. But at least it's a great fight. At least the rematch is made, and that's great for boxing.
Showbiz the Adult has also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight. He reviewed Beterbiev's previous bout with Bivol, noting that Beterbiev had the best opportunity to land his powerful punches, but wasn't able to capitalize on it. He said, "I had an interview with Beterbiev. I asked him a question and he laughed. I knew what that laugh meant. I think that Beterbiev Beterbiev's best chance to beat him was that fight. He was out for some time and he was coming back from a knee repair. I think Beterbiev couldn't put pressure on that foot to deliver the power he usually delivered. I'm telling you, that was his best opportunity. Beterbiev was knocking everybody out right until then, and that was his fight back from his knee. Showbiz the Adult went on to draw a comparison between Beterbiev's last fight and the situation with Gervonta Davis versus Pitbull. He picked Beterbiev, expressing confidence that he will perform better this time around than in his previous bout. He said, "It's just like Tank's fight against Pitbull. Ain't aging well, it aged crazy because Tank beat him with one hand. I'm just saying Beterbiev, he fought. That was his best chance to me. I got Beterbiev." Artur Beterbiev's trainer, Mark Ramsey, recently analyzed the upcoming rematch with Dmitry Bivol. Reflecting on their previous fight, Ramsey noted that Beterbiev struggled to land a solid punch. However, he confidently stated that this time, Beterbiev will deliver far more damage to Bivol.
Because the first fight, we really beat him up like physically, like you say, but it was never like really clean punch that we are able. He came. We have to give him that. He came with a very strong, tight defense in that fight, and we was not able to really like make him do a bad move and catch him right on the chin or right. Majority of the punch was on the guard and outside of the straight punches, straight right. It was hard to catch, like very clean. I think we can do a way better job at this, using the right angle and the right punch at the right moment. And of course, it will do a lot.
With just a few days left until the highly anticipated rematch between undisputed champion Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, Mark Ramsey emphasized the progress of his fighter's preparation. He confidently assured that Beterbiev is fully ready to deliver an action-packed performance this time. He said, "In the training, we have momentum. We have a point, like we recuperate Artur not from zero, but also he's coming back from a fight. We're going back to the gym. We keep working on the little details that we want to improve. And we see Artur keep improving as a boxer, and it's great because we always in the past were like good performance and now out and for injury or some stuff like this and come back and have to redo again and again now. We just recuperate from fight to fight. It's good momentum right now." Mark Ramsey revealed that Beterbiev consistently approaches each of his fights with a serious commitment. He assured that Beterbiev is at the peak of his motivation and will prove himself to be the best when he faces Bivol.
It's fun because, to be honest, like of course, like all fighter won those belts, but it's not the major point with Artur. He take that very personal, not in term of against Bivol, but he take for himself. Like I told you, he know he can do better, and he want to do better, and this is what he's gonna show the next fight. He self-motivate very easily.
Artur Beterbiev is training extensively ahead of his fight with Dmitry Bivol. In one of his training sessions, he was seen striking a tire with a hammer, demonstrating his raw power and strength. He dedicated an hour to perfecting this technique, showcasing his relentless work ethic.
10 seconds.
Joe Rogan, after watching Beterbiev's extensive training, praised him for putting his efforts beyond the limits. He went on to call him one of the scariest boxers of all time and suggested that his last fight with Bivol was the only fight that went the distance.
Did you see Artur Beterbiev, who is
Yes.
fighting Dmitry Bivol?
Yes.
He did a hammer workout on a tire where he hit a tire for an hour.
He did? For an
An
hour?
hour.
What?
He hit a tire for an hour with a sledgehammer.
Dagestanis are made of different...
He's Chechnyan.
Is he Chechnyan?
But same shit.
Mountain people.
Hamzat Chimaev, savage people.
Yeah.
And he's one of the scariest boxers of all time. The only fight that he had as a professional that went the distance is Bivol.
At the same time, Joe Rogan showed his excitement to watch the upcoming rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. He applauded Bivol for beating Canelo and echoed his sentiments on this beating. He said, "That's February 22nd. I'm fucking pumped for that fight. They're gonna fight again. This is the rematch. I'm very pumped for that fight because Bivol is so goddamn good too, and what he did to Canelo is like no one's ever done that, Canelo. Andre Durrell has also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Bivol and Beterbiev. He praised Bivol for his exceptional fighting skills and went on to describe his style as the finest example of Soviet boxing. Durrell confidently predicted that Bivol would come out on top in the rematch.
Bivol is so great with his hands and feet. He has that Soviet style boxing down to a T. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to stay long. He knows how to find them shots, right? He knows how to be in and out, tricky, fake coming in. Second you shoot, he right back out, and he come with a counter most of the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got Bivol.
Teofimo Lopez also shared his thoughts on this rematch. He thinks the outcome would be the same and predicted that Beterbiev would go to hurt Bivol this time. He said, I think the same outcome. Hopefully Bivol does better than the first time. I think Beterbiev is going to hurt Bivol this time around, but kudos to Bivol, man. He boxed very well, but he just didn't show enough grit in the last championship rounds. It's a great fight. Meanwhile, the anticipation is quite heavy as the fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol takes place on Saturday, February 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. In their recent face-off, they both refused to shake hands with each other.
In the ring, I like it. Handshake?
No.
No handshakes.
Callum Smith, who has faced both men, losing to Bivol as an amateur and Beterbiev in a 2024 title fight, offered his opinion on the upcoming rematch. He said, they're both very, very good fighters. I think that showed in the first fight. It was very hard to split them. I seen a lot favored Beterbiev, a lot favored Bivol. A draw, probably a fair result, but I don't know. I just think second time around, they obviously know each other well. I just don't know if the time keeps going on. It favors Bivol a little bit more. He's younger. He's fresher. Callum Smith asserted that the last fight was the toughest fight of Beterbiev's career. He went on to pick Bivol to win this time. He said, Beterbiev, we keep saying it, but he can't keep just going on. That last fight was the toughest of his career. It'll be interesting to see how much that has taken out of him. Is he finally gonna look his age? I don't know. It's gonna be another really close fight and tough to pick, but if I have to side with one, I'd side with Bivol this time. Spencer Brown has shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight. Despite admitting that Beterbiev is a very hard man to beat, he went on to favor Bivol.
Main event of the evening, Mr. Beterbiev against Mr. Bivol.
Bivol.
I think Bivol won the first one, Spencer.
So
After watching it
by
back.
2 rounds.
I had 7-5.
2 rounds
Yeah,
then?
I had exactly the same.
So I think Dmitry Bivol will come. He's a very hard man to beat though. Beterbiev's a hard man to beat, isn't he? But
Roy Jones Jr. has now shared his breakdown of the contest, pointing out some key factors. Roy Jones Jr. believes Beterbiev's usual aggression could benefit both fighters, allowing Bivol to land counters, but if Beterbiev plays it cautious, Bivol could edge the fight as he nearly did last time. Speaking to the Ring magazine, he said, I think it's going to be another great fight, another epic fight. I'm thinking Artur is going to be more Artur this time, which could be good for him or it could be bad for him, because when you go for the kill on Bivol, it gives Bivol the chance to hit you with those counters. But when you don't go for the kill on him, you give him the chance to edge the fight out like I thought he did the first time, or be a draw. We'll see what happens. I think Artur learned a lot from it. I'm sure Bivol learned a lot from it too. Dave Coldwell also weighed in on this potential fight. He reflected his thoughts on their previous fight and asserted that this time, Beterbiev would give a tough time to Bivol.
Beterbiev didn't go to the body in the first fight until later on in the fight, and I was like, I remember, I think I was with Callum Simpson, we was working the Sky, and it was with Callum Simpson, I think, and I was like, he's not gone to the body at all, and that really surprised me. I think this time round, I do think that Beterbiev will go to the body earlier, so it could make it a harder fight for Bivol. But then Bivol will have that more confident about him because he's been in there, he's tasted that power of Beterbiev, and he now knows, rather than thinks he can beat him, he now knows that he can hang with the power.
Billy Dennis also shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch. He confidently picked Beterbiev to win this fight and highlighted his fighting attributes. He said, this time Beterbiev is going to knock him. He's going to get that stoppage. You know you have to fight with Beterbiev if you can't box him. You've got to be very fit and very, very clever to outbox someone like that. The pressure, the cutting the ring on off, he does all this. Because I've been there sparring him, he does not stop, the pace doesn't slow down, so you've got to stand there and give him something to think about. I think Beterbiev is gonna try and do that, and that's why he's gonna get caught in the crossfire, and then that's where it's going to be night-night. Oscar De La Hoya also shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch, picking Bivol to win. He emphasized Bivol's exceptional footwork and fluid movement, highlighting these qualities as key to his success in the fight.
It's a very unique style. I would have to give Dmitry Bivol the advantage here a little bit because he has better footwork, you know. Beterbiev kind of like just stalks you down, you know, and with Bivol, he's just like constantly bam, 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 you know. I love that. He's a good boxer, man, with power. So, and he's got skill up here. It's a tough fight to call. But I'm gonna have to give Dmitry.
Furthermore, De La Hoya analyzed how the fight could unfold in Bivol's favor. He pointed out that the fight night might prove to be a long one for Beterbiev, as Bivol's exceptional footwork could cause Beterbiev significant trouble throughout the bout. He said, "In the first few rounds, you know how he's going to take his punch. If he has a chin, I mean, I think Beterbiev has a better chin than the Dmitry Bivol, and for some reason, I just feel that I don't know if it's true, but if Dmitry Bivol can catch him off set, get him off balance with his footwork, I mean, yeah, it could be a long night for a Beterbiev." David Benavidez also expressed his belief in Bivol's favor, highlighting the key fighting skills that could lead to his victory. He emphasized that Bivol's technical abilities and the massive weight gain make him a formidable opponent capable of winning the rematch.
I'm kind of leaning again with Bivol. Bivol is a great boxer and he has punching power. And then Beterbiev, I think he's a little bit older. You know, I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He works really hard. I don't take nothing away from him, but he does a lot of weights. And in boxing, when you do too much weights like that, that's when you start to break down more. So
Jose Benavidez Sr. also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight, predicting that it could yield the same result as their previous bout. He expressed his belief in Bivol's abilities, suggesting that he has the potential to win again. He said, "I think it's going to be kind of the same fight. It's going to be a really close fight. We've seen everything. Both of them were trying to do the best that they could. Both of them, the styles, you know, kind of work for each other, and I believe in the first 5 rounds, Bivol won. I think in this fight, I think Bivol can win again. He's a little bit faster. He has more movement, you know, and Beterbiev, you know, he hits hard probably, so I think I see the same fight." So that was all for today. Let us know in the comment sections below, what are your thoughts on this rematch? While some of the analysts think Bivol won the first fight, we would like to know, what is your take on their last fight? Share your predictions, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon now so you never miss an update.